flight test. We've placed several rings and dummy targets in your area. Fly through the rings and destroy the targets. Ring clear. Dummy target destroyed. Nice little streak there.
It'll be 20 years to the day soon. The day the sky was ripped apart and countless bolts of light rained down upon us. I think this calls for a little history lesson. In 1994, a group of asteroids was discovered taking a long elliptical orbit around the sun. They were created when an unknown asteroid struck the 1986 VG-1 Ulysses, an asteroid in orbit around Jupiter. The orbit of these Ulysses asteroids was on a collision course with Earth with an estimated 10,000 meteors set to strike the surface. Since there was no way to divert the orbit of each asteroid, construction began on a vast anti-air railgun network, a last-ditch effort to intercept and destroy the meteors. They built 6 facilities. The test unit Type 0 was built in China. Type 1 was built in America, and then 4 Type 5 units were built in Australia, Turkey, Namibia, and Argentina. In July 1999, the asteroids began to strike. Thanks to the railgun network, damage was kept to a bare minimum, only about enough to destroy the entire world order. Never in its existence had mankind experienced such a catastrophe. It came to be called the Ulysses disaster. The near-total loss of infrastructure led to economic chaos, particularly in the hard-hit Eurasian continent. To avoid total breakdown, the nations of Asia and Southern Europe rearranged themselves into regional federations. Military budgets were slashed, and the Federation poured most of their money into rebuilding. The depletion of energy sources brought on by the loss of territory soon proved to be a major problem, one that quickly led to an escalation in disputes over natural resources. We'll continue this later.
All right, time to start the briefing. We've got a new guy here today, but I'll have to cut the introduction short. My name's Goodfellow, and I'm your rep from the Arrows. As you know, Arrows is a mercenary force specializing in aerial warfare. Some people like to call us pirates. I prefer they'd call us privateers, at least. We are being employed by the UN Security Council, after all. Anyway, the UNSC's Military Staff Committee just sent Arrows a request for deployment. It was originally going to be an escort mission for the UNF Pacific Fleet stationed in Tokyo Bay, but that's changed. We now have multiple unknown UAVs flying toward Area J4E, Japan's former capital of Tokyo. In other words, right here. The UAVs are likely armed. We need them downed before they reach city limits. This'll be the first sortie for the rookie here, TAC name Reaper. Here's your emblem. Omega from the Bone Arrow Flight will be supporting you on this mission. Follow his instructions. I'll be expecting results, you hear? Dismissed.
A lot of meteor dust in the air again today. Hard to believe it's already been 20 years, huh? And the sky's still full of that junk.
This is the JASDF 309 Squadron requesting affiliation.
This is Omega from Arrow's Bone Arrow Squadron, working under independent UN command. We're here on operational support.
The pirates, huh? HQ told us to expect you. Good luck out there.
Yeah, you too.
Good fellow to all Bone Arrows. We will now commence mission operations. Engage any enemy craft you come across.
Omega affirmative. Bandits on our 12. Probably surveillance UAVs.
Cleared to engage.
Keep yourself together, Rocky. These drones aren't even armed.
Enemy UAV destroyed. All enemy UAVs down. All units, we got new bandits approaching. Use your long-range search to get their location. Switch to your wide-range battle map. A locator on your HUD will show what direction the bandits are coming from. Follow the locator.
Remember, you can't fire missiles while you're reloading. Classic rookie mistake.
Another enemy plane approaching.
More of them?
Be careful. Few of the bandits have anti-air ordnance on them. I'm adding a TGT display on your HUD container. Take those down before anything else.
Whoa, is that a Quax?
These bogies are a lot more agile than the last guys.
General purpose drone designed by JASDF. Might just be a close resemblance.
I'll check on that craft later. This focus on the attack. All UAVs destroyed. Good work.
All radar blips? What the hell?
Enemy UAVs approaching. Open CIWS fire.
Enemy UAVs are attacking urban areas. They're striking the coastline from Shinagawa to Kawasaki.
The same arms versions we just ran into.
All units, eliminate them before there's any more damage.
Damage report.
An evacuation order out for the coastal areas. If this keeps up, though, the evacuation zones might be in danger, too.
All enemy UAVs down. No further enemy presence in this airspace.
This is JASDF 309. Thanks for your support.
Glad to be of service.
I'm getting the latest damage report now. Looks like they didn't reach the evacuation zones. Not too shabby, Reaper.
These things, Quax craft, you said? Why would they be striking Tokyo?
I'll get the UNF to brief me on the UAVs later. All units, clear to return home. This is believed to be a terrorist attack carried out by armed forces from the Iuli region. It caused extensive damage to Tokyo. The naval fleet was also attacked, so the UNF generals are all furious right now. The UAVs they used are an upgraded version of the MQ-90 Quax, a Japanese-made UAV that's also been deployed in the Americas. It may be unmanned, but it's still a very powerful bomber. It's equipped with an aggressive aerodynamic design and a new type of semi-automatic control system. The UNSC says it's a Werner NOAA product. Apparently the control system's a top-secret design that they stole. Werner denies everything, of course. Navigation would normally use a system that relies on improved GPS satellite tech. This craft uses a different relay system for its operations. We also caught an unknown fighter craft flying at high altitude over the area. The UN's going to raid and inspect Werner's facilities in Ayuli and the other special zones shortly. Werner NOAA is the biggest company in its field. Normally, the UN doesn't like doing anything to make them angry. Now, though, I guess they don't have much choice.
Welcome back. Let's continue where we left off. Now, where was I? Oh, right. So tensions were escalating worldwide. The wars that resulted led to an increasing number of refugees. To handle these refugees, special semi-autonomous zones were established in the EU, the Asian nations, and part of Russia. Iuli, the zone founded in southern Russia, was the largest of them land-wise, which allowed them to take in vast numbers of migrants. But these refugees were treated like cheap labor. Living conditions grew worse, and the region was soon home to gigantic slum areas. Anti-foreign worker demonstrations were rife across the entire zone, threatening peace and welfare in the surrounding regions. As a result, a certain company stepped in to help support the job market in the refugee zones. That company was Werner NOAA Enterprises, the defense contractor giant. Once nations had to slash their military budgets after the Ulysses disaster, the private military service industry with its mercenary forces experienced a major boom. Also, thanks to the Advanced Automated Aviation Plan introducing enhanced computer numerical control to aircraft manufacture, it became a simple matter to rebuild previously existing aircraft designs. The resulting glut in available aircraft led to a new issue, a lack of pilots to control them. Hence why you now see mercenary groups cobbled together from dropout pilots. But I digress. The nations and federations overseeing the special zones welcomed Werner's support. In turn, Werner received huge parcels of land and a huge workforce to do its bidding. Soon the company expanded from its core military business into energy and space development. Their business had an enormous impact on recovery efforts around the world, and the localized conflicts began to simmer down. Now we come to today, 20 years later. The special zones have shown major economic growth under Werner's wing. But the huge weapon stockpiles stored in these zones have made them a breeding ground for armed extremist groups. These groups have formed a multinational network spread across the special zones. And more we're seeing them carry out anti-imperialist attacks in the nations surrounding Iuli. This has led the UN and the world's superpowers to label them terrorists. Which brings us to... Are you awake? Sorry, you must be tired. We can pick this up another time.
Following the Tokyo terror attack, the UN staged emergency inspections on facilities in Ayuli. They didn't obtain any evidence on the new UAVs we saw, but they did discover plans for an orbital weapon. Multiple nations are apparently involved in its development. The UN calls it a violation of space treaties and a new threat to replace nuclear proliferation. They're demanding the project be halted immediately. As a result, the chief military official at Werner has been forced out of the company. But this thing isn't over yet. In fact, it's just beginning. We've spotted a large squadron of unidentified transport aircraft heading for Area B9K, an aerospace center in the West Indies, accompanied by escort craft. The center was involved with the development of the space weapon I discussed. The nature of the cargo is unknown, but once we identify the craft as hostile, you have permission to shoot them down. Normally, this would be a UNF or USAF job, but given how tense things have been with Latin America, the US doesn't want to pour any more oil on the fire. All in all, they preferred if the media kept their focus on the Tokyo attacks instead of this. That's why they enlisted us privateers for their dirty work. It ought to be a pretty good payday for us. We'll be having our best pilot on this op. In Arrows, if you're a top earner, you get first priority over everyone else. You want money, you want fame, then you're gonna have to outdo our ace here. Unidentified transports and escorts are approaching the Aerospace Center. Once we identify them as hostile, you have permission to shoot them down. Don't let them damage the Aerospace Center.
Phone Arrow 1, this is Viper. Getting a radar blip on our 12.
Goodfellow to Viper, switch to an open channel and send out a notice.
Yeah, copy that. Attention unidentified aircraft. This is the Arrow Squadron operating under independent United Nations command. Follow our guidance and change your...
FC radar targeting from the craft. They're bandits.
I knew it!
All units, permission to engage.
All right, let's get this party started. Hey, you, Phone Arrow 4, the rookie with that stupid emblem. Here with me. I want to see what you got.
Those transports aren't too quick. Want you to fly riding the one.
Hurry, just a few more.
Watch out, enemy launching air-to-air missile. You got a missile coming for you, Rookie. Dodge it. Nice and aim. Stay focused. Watch out for missiles as you take out the enemy.
Get moving!
Nothing but transport craft left. Let's get this over with.
Fire.
Not too bad, rookie.
More of them on our 12. Think you can keep up with me, kid?
You know, that Reaper emblem you got freaks me out. Just like a bit haunted. I bet I'd paint a nicer one on there for you, right?
Your tactical recon data has been updated. Check your HUD, Rookie. Your tactical data link activates when you're in close range of an allied craft. It's incorporating sensor fusion technology. If you've got a tactical data link, your FCSs will work in tandem to boost the whole squadron's attack power.
It'll boost your accuracy, reload speed, firepower, and a hell of a lot more.
Watch your distance from the others as you proceed. Enemy transport down. One hostile transport left. You know how to use your data link. It's not complicated. Check your radar and you're close enough to an allied craft. It'll activate automatically. You've dropped out of effective data link range. You won't be able to use it for a while.
Stay with me. You get shot down, the sharks are gonna feast on you.
Target down. Enemy transport squadron destroyed.
Hey, rookie! Take a look at Viper's craft. Thing's old enough to be in a museum, but he threw a boatload of cash into customizing it. See that infinity mark on the side? That means he shot down so many bandits, he can't even keep counting.
Viper here. King, bail out. Do you copy? Seems like you got a lot of free time over there. You just got back in the air. Don't get yourself shot up again.
Roger that, Viper. You always know when he's nearby, too. It smells his breath.
All bandits confirmed down and
Not yet, they aren't. We got a couple stragglers.
first group already arrived. Cover the next. Third enemy flight incoming. Take them all down.
Right. Time to make the donuts.
Take them down. Within gun range. Vipers shot down a bandit. The rest
It's offline. Great job, Lone Arrow Squadron. Time to go home. Good fellow, the Viper. How'd our new recruit do? Reaper kid? Not bad, considering. If he applies himself, I can see him becoming useful. Anyone can, if they put in the time to get past their growing pains. Too bad that last guy didn't get that far. Yeah, because you pushed him too hard.
Well done. The Aerospace Center emerged unscathed. We're investigating the transported cargo right now. For now, this will remain a covert op. Now, I know you guys just went halfway around the world, but I've got more work for you. A group of 9 high-powered executives known as the Gray Men have been kidnapped in Russia. We're talking elite members of the most exclusive circles of world economics and government. Meanwhile, terrorist forces have occupied a Werna military facility in Iuli in southwest Russia. We've got armed insurrections around other Werna facilities too, and we think they're connected. So, we'll be heading for Russia.